Alien life has been found on the exoplanet K2-18b, according to the media. But how true is this claim? Let's talk about it. A paper was published today by Professor Niku Madhusudan and collaborators, where they used the James Webb Space Telescope to analyze the atmosphere of K2-18b. Now to note, K2-18b is not a rocky Earth-like planet. Instead, it's a gas-rich planet with an atmosphere full of hydrogen, similar to that of Jupiter. The team proposed that K2-18b is a different class of planet, called a hydrogen planet. So this would be a planet with a hydrogen-rich atmosphere above a liquid water ocean. The team had previously claimed life on this planet back in 2023, and this came under a lot of scrutiny by the exoplanet community. Okay, so let's dive into this study and figure out what they have done. What makes this study different to the one in 2023 is that they've used a different instrument on board the James Webb Space Telescope. They have used the MIRI instrument, which can observe between 5 to 12 microns, whereas in the 2023 study, they used the near-infrared instrument, which observed between 1 and 5 microns. This is the spectrum that they obtained using two independent methods. And things look pretty consistent, which is a good sign. This indicates that the bumps that we are seeing are astrophysical in origin and not due to the choices made in their reduction pipelines. They then compare this data to a suite of atmospheric models, and that's what we're seeing in the above panel. We're seeing some peaks here, and a peak here, and a downward peak here. These are the parts of the spectrum that hint towards DMS and DMDS. So they claim their detection at 3 sigma, which is very common in astronomy, but in other fields of physics, they require a much higher threshold. So for example, in particle physics, a 5 sigma detection is needed to claim something to be real. The molecules DMS and DMDS could be biosignature gases. This is because it's produced on Earth by plankton. So this kind of builds the narrative that this planet could have a huge ocean. But we also need to mention that DMS can be produced naturally. It's recently been shown that it's produced in comets. Okay, and a final thing about these molecules is the data that they use are not appropriate for these type of atmospheres. The data for DMS used in the study is actually only appropriate for nitrogen-rich atmospheres, so Earth-like atmospheres. We actually don't know how they would behave in hydrogen-rich atmospheres, and these might change the spectral features, which could change the detections. Okay, to summarize, I don't personally think that this is a detection of life on K2-18b, but let me tell you what would convince me that it is life on K2-18b. First, we need way more observations. The James Webb Space Telescope is revolutionizing astronomy, and more observations of K2-18b to get better precision on these molecules and to push our detections over 5 sigma, that would be one step to convincing me. Second of all, we need more lab measurements. If we had lab measurements of these molecules under hydrogen-rich atmospheric conditions and used them to analyze the data, that would then convince me more. And finally, we need an independent team of scientists to analyze the data and come to the same conclusion.